Imagine Karlie Redd tears streaming down her cheek, standing alone under the spotlight as she utters a heartfelt apology that shakes the very foundation of love and hip-hop Atlanta. Rumors have swirled for weeks about a secret pregnancy and a marriage on the brink of collapse. And now Karlie's words seem to confirm every whispered suspicion. Emotions ran high as viewers watched her struggle to find the right words, each tear carrying years of pain and regret. Meanwhile, Kirk Frost, the man once at the center of her world, is reportedly overjoyed by the possibility of a new life. As their relationship unravels, fans are shocked by Karlie's vulnerability and Kirk's unexpected elation in the midst of scandal. The family was left divided between those who empathize with her struggle and those who question her timing. What does this confession mean for Karlie's future? And can Kirk's happiness coexist with her heartbreak? Stay tuned, because this explosive moment might just rewrite the rules of reality. Drama-nan, nobody knows where the next twist will come from. Karlie? Redd's voice trembled as she stepped into the circle of lights, the studio around her falling, silent as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. Tears streamed down her cheeks, glistening in the glare of camera flashes that normally celebrated her larger-than-life persona. "I want to say I'm sorry," she began, her voice barely above a whisper, yet somehow every syllable carried the weight of every headline spun about her in recent weeks. Fans are shocked to see this side of Karlie, the fierce reality star stripped of armor and forced to confront her own mistakes in front of the world. Emotions ran high as the cast exchanged hesitant glances, unsure how to respond to her raw admission. The family was left divided between those who felt compassion for her courage and those who worried the apology was nothing more than another PR stunt. As Karlie wiped at her face with a trembling hand, she continued, each word coded in regret. "I let rumors about my personal life overshadow the friendships and careers we've built together," she confessed, voice cracking under the strain. "I allowed fear to keep me silent when I should have spoken the truth." Her eyes swept across the faces of her co-stars, lingering on the camera, feeds that displayed her every nuance to millions of viewers. The apology echoed through the studio, reverberating in the hearts of fans who had watched her build an empire on confidence and flair. Now, in a moment of vulnerability, fans are shocked to realize that even reality stars carry the same insecurities we battle behind closed doors. Then, as the hush deepened, Karlie's gaze dropped and her shoulders sagged, hinting at a secret heavier than regret. "There's something else I've been carrying," she said, voice cracking with emotion. A collective gasp rose from the crew as she lifted her eyes. "I might be expecting a child." The confession landed like a thunderclap, transforming her heartfelt apology into a revelation that could reshape every relationship in her circle. Emotions ran high as whispers of pregnancy and new life fluttered through the control room. The family was left divided. Some reached for tissues in solidarity, while others frowned, skeptical of the timing and wondering how this would affect their own storylines. Unseen by Karlie and the uncamera drama, Kirk Frost stood just beyond the headset still clipped to his ear, scanning monitors and scripts with a producer's eye. When the whispered rumor of her pregnancy reached him, his expression shifted from professional focus to private elation. A small, triumphant smile curved his lips as he thought, "This is the blessing I've been waiting for." Fans are shocked. Kirk's reaction, viewing a man famed for his fiery confrontations now softening at the prospect of new life with Karlie. Even though their marriage had been teetering on ruin, emotions ran high at the contrast. Karlie's tears of apology, Kirk's quiet joy, a juxtaposition that made every viewer wonder whether love could survive scandal when hope arrived in the form of an unborn child. Back in the studio, Karlie straightened as if steeling herself for the fallout of her admission. "My marriage has been failing for months," she said, voice steadying with determination. "We fought, we hurt each other, and we never found a way back to where we started." The confession seemed to crack open a dam of shared pain, and the others in the circle felt the tremor. Fans are shocked by the extent of her heartbreak. Emotions ran high as they recognized the familiar ache of promises broken. The family was left divided. Some whispered that a pregnancy could mend a fractured relationship, while others argued that bringing a child into a broken union was reckless. In a burst of courage, Karlie scanned the faces of her castmates, reaching out with words as fragile as the tears on her cheeks. "I told myself a baby would fix everything, that it would bring us back to love," she admitted, shutting her eyes against the sting of fresh tears. "But I know now that life isn't a plot twist to resolve drama." The audience of crew members and off-camera assistants held their collective breath. Fans are shocked at her clarity in the midst of pain. Emotions ran high as they felt her growth even as her world seemed to crumble. The family was left divided. Some offered silent nods of understanding, while others exchanged guarded looks, contemplating how her journey might alter their own trajectories. Then, a hushed murmur rolled through the set when Karlie glanced toward the wings, where Kirk had briefly appeared on monitor feeds. She paused, as if feeling his presence through the lens, and acknowledged him without words. The camera zoomed out, capturing both the confession circle and Kirk's distant silhouette by the call room. Emotions ran high at the unspoken bond between them, tensions crackling as viewers contemplated his role in this unfolding drama. Fans are shocked by the subtle intensity of that glance, the way past love and present scandal intertwined in a single frame. Despite the storm of revelations, Karlie lifted her chin, letting a flicker of hope shimmer through her sorrow. "If this pregnancy is real," she said softly, "I want to face it with truth, not secrets." Her hand grazed her abdomen, an instinctive gesture that spoke volumes. The moment felt sacred, even as the glare of reality television threatened to consume it. Fans are shocked by her resolve, their hearts pounding as they imagined the challenges ahead. The family was left divided between cheering for her honesty and fearing the fallout of turning private life into public spectacle. Just as the intensity reached its peak, a production assistant called for continuation, hands fluttering with cue cards. Karlie took a final, steadying breath and offered one last glance at the crew. "I'm ready to own my story," she declared, voice firmer but edged with vulnerability. "I want to rebuild trust with Kirk, with all of you, and with myself." The words marked a turning point. An apology had become a confession, and a confession now laid the groundwork for redemption. Fans are shocked by the transformative power of her journey. Emotions ran high as they braced for what would come next. The family was left divided, suspended between the gravity of Karlie's revelations and the hope that truth might heal wounds too deep to ignore. The studio buzzed with unsettled energy as the cameras continued rolling, capturing every flicker of discomfort and curiosity. Karlie sank onto a plush couch just off-center, her body sagging with exhaustion after the emotional confession. Yandy hovered nearby, arms crossed, a silent sentinel ready to intervene if the piece shattered again. Kirk Frost paced behind the lens, headset dangling from one ear, his mind racing with anticipation and doubt. Fans are shocked by the tension that charged the air. Emotions ran high as each breath felt heavy with possibility. The family was left divided. Some whispered that this pregnancy could heal old wounds, while others feared it would only deepen. The fractures. A production assistant signaled for quiet, but the set remained thick with unspoken questions. Erica, who had been standing in the wings, stepped forward to offer comfort. She knelt beside Karlie, voice soft. "You did what you had to do?" she murmured. Karlie gave a small nod, eyes downcast. "I told the truth, but now I'm terrified," she admitted. Erica's hand found Karlie's shoulder, a gentle anchor. Kirk stopped pacing and turned, watching the scene unfold. His face softened with genuine affection, a contrast to the tough persona he usually wore. Fans are shocked by Kirk's tenderness. Emotions ran high as they witnessed this rare glimpse of the man behind the controversies. Meanwhile, drama unfolded among the cast as word of Karlie's revelation spread. Angel, armed with her phone, darted to the producer's monitor to replay clips of the confession. "Did you see how Kirk reacted?" she whispered to Yvette. Yvette leaned in, eyes widening as the footage looped. "He looked relieved, almost happy," she observed. Angel nodded, expression dark. "This could be a game changer," she said quietly. Emotions ran high backstage as alliances shifted in whispers. Fans are shocked that even Karlie's closest friends speculated about Kirk's reaction before he spoke a word. At that moment, the executive producer called for a break, and the crew filed out, leaving the trio in a bubble of relative privacy. Kirk approached Karlie with measured steps, his usual swagger replaced by a tentative gentleness. "I want you to know how much I care," he said, voice low. Karlie looked up, vulnerability flickering in her gaze. "I know," she replied, softly. Kirk sighed, running a hand through his hair. "This isn't what I expected, but I'm ready to stand by you," he promised. Fans are shocked by Kirk's unwavering loyalty. Emotions ran high as they felt his sincerity. The family was left divided, balancing hope that love could survive with skepticism born of past betrayals. Yandy, sensing the fragile moment, offered a warm yet firm invitation. "Let's talk through what comes next," she suggested, motioning to a small conference table. Karlie and Kirk exchanged a glance before following Yandy to the table, where the producer laid out cue cards labeled next steps. As they settled in, the room seemed to shift into a war room of emotional strategy. Yandy leaned forward, voice earnest. "We need honesty, communication, and boundaries," she listed. Kirk nodded emphatically. "No more secrets," he vowed. Karlie inhaled, steeling herself. "I want truth above all," she said. Fans are shocked by their collective resolve. Emotions ran high as they witnessed unity forged in crisis. Off to the side, Chantel watched with an analytical gleam in her eye. She tapped her lips thoughtfully before stepping in. "If you're serious about this, you need to prepare for backlash," she warned, arms folded. "Tabloids will spin it as scandal, not hope." Kirk's jaw clenched. "Then we spin it ourselves," he challenged. Chantal nodded, respect flickering in her eyes. We'll frame it as a journey of redemption, she agreed. The plan took shape quickly. Social media teasers, candid interviews, carefully released photos. Fans are shocked by the tactical shift. Emotions ran high as they realized every move was now a calculated narrative. The family was left divided between genuine hope and cynical manipulation. As the meeting adjourned, Kirk and Karlie lingered, voices dropping to hushed tones. Karlie reached across the table, fingertips brushing Kirk's. I don't know if I can trust myself or you, she confessed. Kirk's expression softened with remorse. I'll earn it back, he vowed, eyes sincere. The moment crackled with potential, a crossroads in their story. Fans are shocked by the vulnerability displayed. Emotions ran high as they sensed a turning point. The family was left divided, torn between rooting for reconciliation and fearing another heartbreak behind them. The studio doors opened and the director called action for the next segment. The cast regrouped, faces composed, but thoughts racing. Angel re-entered with a determined stride, clutching her phone. I have live tweets ready, she announced. Yvette set up the monitor displaying the trending hashtag #ShopOkateriaConf. We're at #1 worldwide, she reported. Voice tinged with the crew hustled to capture every moment, aware that audience engagement had reached fever pitch. Fans are shocked by the global response. Emotions ran high as they realized the magnitude of Karlie's revelation. The family was left divided, some reveling in the spotlight, others cringing at the intensity. On camera, Karlie took a deep breath and addressed the audience directly, voice steady. This journey isn't over, she said, gaze unwavering. Kirk stood behind her, offering silent support. Yandy watched from the sidelines, a proud guardian of their honesty. The flash of cameras signaled the power of this moment. Reality television in its rawest, most vulnerable form. Fans are shocked by the authenticity. Emotions ran high as they connected with Karlie's humanity. The family was left divided yet bound by the shared experience of bearing their truths under relentless scrutiny. As the segment wrapped, the director called cut, and the cast exhaled collectively. A hush descended before applause broke out among crew members impressed by the genuine emotion. Karlie's tear-stained cheeks glowed with both relief and trepidation. Kirk offered a calming hand on her back, and Yandy closed the distance for a supportive hug. The aftermath felt surreal. They had navigated confession, crisis, and reconciliation all within the glare of the cameras. Fans are shocked by the resilience displayed. Emotions ran high as they awaited the editor's cut for tomorrow's broadcast. The family was left divided between private hope and public pressure, but one thing was clear. Their story had entered a new, uncharted chapter. The spotlight shifted as cameras rolled for the third act of Karlie Redd's tumultuous journey, and the energy crackled with raw potential. Karlie sat at a small vanity mirror off to the side, brushing her fingers through damp hair as remnants of tears clung to her lashes. Kirk loomed at her shoulder, his expression a mixture of apprehension and determination. Yandy hovered nearby, arms crossed but eyes soft with concern. The tension was palpable as they prepared to face the next wave of questions and whispers that threatened to engulf them. Fans are shocked by the intimacy of this moment, watching their reality television heroes peel back yet another layer of private emotion. Emotions ran high as anticipation mounted. The family was left divided, torn between hope for healing and dread of fresh wounds. A voice boomed from the monitor's speakers, cueing the return to the live segment. The trio positioned themselves at a semicircle of stools facing the cameras with steely resolve. Karlie inhaled, summoning every ounce of courage she could muster. "Last night, I found out something that changed everything," she began, voice wavering. Kirk reached out instinctively, threading his fingers through hers. The cameras zoomed in, capturing the subtle quiver in both their grips. Fans are shocked by Karlie's admission of unease, realizing that her pregnancy scare had taken unexpected turns. Emotions ran high as viewers sensed the fragility that lay beneath the bravado. After our talk in the conference room, Karlie continued, "I went for a private ultrasound to confirm what I felt." Her words hung in the air like reverberations in an empty hall. Kirk swallowed hard, nodding in solidarity. Yandi shifted forward. "We knew we had to be sure," she added softly. There was so much at stake. The trio exchanged glances, united in purpose. The studio seemed to breathe with them, crew members pausing mid-motion to feel the gravity of the moment. Fans are shocked by the realness of their vulnerability, hearts pounding as they await the next revelation. Karlie closed her eyes, taking a moment before delivering the bombshell. "The results came back negative," she said, voice barely above. Whisper. Kirk's hand stilled in hers, and Yandi's posture tensed. "No, baby," Karlie repeated, breathing out a shuddering sigh. "I'm not pregnant." The confession landed like a thunderbolt. Staff members leaned forward, mouths agape. Fans are shocked by this reversal. Emotions ran high as relief and heartbreak mingled in equal measure. The family was left divided. Some viewers felt empathy for Karlie's roller coaster emotions, while others questioned why she let hope spin out of control. Kirk, single quotes, lips parted, eyes wet with unspoken disappointment and lingering joy that had morphed into a complicated ache. This changes everything," he murmured, voice thick. He closed his eyes, releasing her hand to rub his temples in quiet torment. "I was ready," he said. "I believed." Karlie's cheeks flushed with guilt. "I'm so sorry," she choked out. "I let my fear and desire cloud my judgment. I dragged us through speculation." Her apology rang hollow and true, filling the soundstage with the echo of remorse. Fans are shocked by Kirk's pain. Emotions ran high as they connected to his dashed hopes. The family was left divided between compassion for Kirk's loss and frustration at Karlie's miscalculation. Yandi leaned closer to Karlie, placing a comforting hand on her knee. "We're still here," she asserted. "You're still you, and Kirk still loves you. This doesn't erase everything." Karlie nodded, tears spilling anew. "I know," she whispered, "but the world saw me cry for a life that doesn't exist, and they'll mock me for being dramatic." Her voice cracked, fear of public scrutiny radiating from her. Fans are shocked by her vulnerability. Emotions ran high as echoes of their own insecurities surfaced. The family was left divided between solace offered by solidarity and the sting of collective judgment. In the background, Chantel observed the scene with an analytical gaze, scrolling through social media feeds on her phone. "The internet's merciless," she warned. They'll twist this into an epic meltdown. She tapped her screen, revealing trending hashtags vilifying Karlie for wanting a baby at the wrong moment. Kirk glanced at Chantel, concern etched across his face. "We can't let them spin our story," he said, voice firm. "We have to reclaim the narrative." His words galvanized the group, shifting the atmosphere from despair to resolve. Fans are shocked by Kirk's leadership. Emotions ran high as they admired his protective stance. The family was left divided between skepticism of spin tactics and respect for their fight to control the storyline. At that moment, a gentle knock announced a surprise visitor, Mama D, Karlie's longtime mentor. She entered the studio with a weathered smile, wearing a gown that shimmered under the lights. "I heard my girl needed some perspective," she said, her voice a comforting rumble. Karlie rose, rushing to embrace her. Tears flowed unabated as Mama D held her, murmuring words of wisdom that only a maternal figure could convey. "This world throws punches," Mama D said firmly. "But remember who you are? You don't need this drama to define you." Her presence offered a beacon of hope. Fans are shocked by the warmth of her arrival. Emotions ran high as they felt the ripple of maternal guidance. The family was left divided, yet Mama D's arrival temporarily bridged the gap between supportive and critical circles. The cameras captured the reunion before focusing back on the trio. Mama D guided Karlie to sit beside Yandi and Kirk. "Listen," she said, turning to face them all. "Life isn't measured by headlines or baby tests. It's measured by your character when the world watches." Her words hung heavy with truth. Karlie nodded, wiping her face. "I need to rediscover myself," she said softly. Kirk took her hand again. "We will," he assured. Yandi squeezed her shoulder. "We will," she echoed. Fans are shocked by the solidarity among them. Emotions ran high as they witnessed a family rally around one another. The family was left divided only in the sense of outsiders observing but united in purpose. Suddenly, a new alert flashed on a nearby monitor, an incoming clip from a rival network claiming to have dug up evidence that Karlie had knowingly circulated rumors to boost ratings. The headline scrolled across the screen, "Karlie's tears part of a stunt." The room froze as the accusation struck like a spear. Shouts of outrage and disbelief erupted among the crew. Karlie's face flushed with anger. "How dare they?" she spat. Kirk stepped forward, fists clenched. "We confront them," he declared. Mama D held up a hand. "Hold on," she cut. "We respond with facts, not rage." Her calm voice regained control of the storm. Fans are shocked by the magnitude of the smears. Emotions ran high as they empathized with Karlie's indignation. The family was left divided, but under Mama D's guidance, they prepared to fight back with dignity. Yandi Y signaled for the producer to cue the segment on why truth matters above all. The crew silenced the chatter as the cameras refocused on the trio, now flanked by Mama D. The tension shifted from crisis to confrontation, the narrative poised to swing once more. Karlie straightened, determination flashing in her eyes. "We'll present everything uncut," she vowed. "We'll show our heartbreak, our humor, and our humanity." Kirk nodded, voice resolute. "No more hiding," he said. Yandi raised her chin. "We own our story. Fans are shocked by their bold stance. Emotions ran high as they felt the tide begin to turn. The family, despite being observed from every angle, stood ready to reveal their truth and reclaim their narrative in the season's most charged chapter yet. The studio lights dimmed for a moment as if catching its own breath, the faint hum of equipment settling into a tense quiet. Then the red on-air light blinked back to life, signaling the final segment of this roller coaster confession. Karlie Redd, Kirk Frost, and Yandy Smith squared their shoulders, stepping forward into the glow. Behind them, a monitor flickered with the rival network's accusation. Karlie's tears, part of a stunt. The words hovered as a gauntlet, daring them to respond. Fans are shocked by the audacity of the claim, and emotions ran high as everyone wondered whether these three would crumble or confront the smear head-on. The family was left divided. Some braced for an emotional collapse, while others hoped for a triumphant rebuttal. Karlie took a steadying breath and addressed the camera, her voice low but unwavering. "We've heard the rumors that this entire journey was orchestrated for ratings," she began, glancing at Kirk and Yandy for solidarity. "But if it were a stunt, why would I risk exposing my deepest fears on live television?" The question resonated through the studio like a challenge. Kirk stepped forward beside her, headset tucked away, revealing a rare vulnerability. "I've known Karlie for years," he said, voice thick with emotion. "If she wanted publicity, she'd do something flashy, not sit here and cry over it. A pregnancy scare that never happened." His unguarded sincerity sent a ripple through the crew. Fans are shocked by Kirk's protective declaration, and emotions ran high as many felt the sting of his loyalty cutting through the gossip. Family was left divided yet again, this time between doubters and defenders. Yandy, why close the gap between them? Gaze fierce. "We're not here to entertain tabloids," she asserted. "We're here to show the messy truth of life under the spotlight." She paused, letting the weight of authenticity settle. "If you want drama, get ready for the raw, unedited version." Her words felt like a rallying cry. Fans are shocked by her fearless stance. Emotions ran high as they cheered her refusal to back down. The family, caught in the crossfire of rumors and revelations, seemed to unify under her defiant energy. Suddenly, the studio doors swung open and Snoop Dogg, a surprise guest, swaggered in to a collective gasp. He carried himself with pursed. The camera caught her, shaking her head, mouthing the words, "fake tears." The on-set cast tensed, and Karlie's face clouded with hurt. "Mimi?" she whispered, disbelief etched in her voice. Mimi strolled onto the set, chin high, cool confidence radiating. "I was watching," she said, gaze locked on Karlie, "and I thought, this is more drama than even I can handle." The studio fell silent as Mimi crossed her arms, awaiting a response. Fans are shocked by her comeback. Emotions ran high as they anticipated the confrontation. The family was left divided. Some were eager to see Mimi's call-out validated. Others hoped for reconciliation. Karlie swallowed, air catching in her throat before she spoke. "I'm sorry you feel that way," she said softly, meeting Mimi's eyes. "This was never meant to be entertainment. It was my life." Mimi's stern facade flickered. Kirk stepped forward, protective. "This isn't scripted," he insisted, voice